Welcome to the Antonio Parkinson Project. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Don't go anywhere because today we're talking about bribes against Diddy. Also, accusations against Garth Brooks. Who would have thought that? J. Cole has finally entered the Drake and who was the dude?
K-Dot.
Kendrick Lamar. K-Dot.
It's a little late for that. It's a little
J. Cole done
late.
jumped in there
It's a little
again. And 5 reasons people believe they're above average. We're going to talk about that when it comes to the dating pool. So y'all don't go anywhere. Hit that subscribe button. You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project. Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. I am Antonio Parkinson. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's give it up for that.
Going numbers.
Yeah, we are. We're over 5 million views.
That's
right. And aggregate across our social media platforms and stuff. And I think we're at like 2.5 million on YouTube alone. Right. But we're doing great things. Yeah. Hey, look. Hey, Kojak.
What is it?
Angelica is on her anniversary travel assignment.
Yes.
And
that's what we calling it.
That's what we're calling it.
What
So
is the
congratulations to Angelica and Mitch on their anniversary.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know what.
She's been working hard.
She
They deserve
has.
this time. They deserve this.
She has reconstituted, man. You know, and you know,
That's what I did last week. My anniversary was last week.
You was consummating?
Oh, yeah.
Kojak said, he said that.
Man, like 2-3 days.
What? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
Man, hey, look. So we got the wonderful Ina Esco.
Come on
Bubble
now.
E in the building.
In the building.
Yeah, she is the host and founder of Verbally Effective Podcast, and we are excited to have you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's great to be here.
Thank you. You're always welcome. You're always welcome. We celebrate, you know, everything you're doing with your podcast and with the podcast festival.
Most definitely.
And you know, we applaud you and we truly appreciate everything you do for our community because this is what Black excellence looks like.
Yes.
Real talk. Seriously.
Thank you. I appreciate
it. And you know,
it.
because you know, it takes. These are selfless acts. People don't realize it. A lot of times we spend a lot of our money, our own money,
Say that. Come on,
to
speak.
make this shit happen, right?
Speak.
And you know, a lot of times it's thankless, right? And you know, but you
And for
have,
some reason, people think that you made a killing or you.
Oh my God!
They don't
man.
understand the ratio of how much work it goes into
And-
it,
and
how the money is not
Right,
really
and
there.
how you 30 cents away from having a quarter,
What?
and you got making this shit happen.
But you
Still
got this
make it
dream and this
Man.
passion
There
that
you
you
go. Come
cannot
on now.
let go of.
Right.
Yes, so
like my club, hip hop. Hip hop.
what's
I got a
hip
spot. I
hop?
got a club. I got a
I hope
club.
Angelica's watching. I hope
I got a
Angelica's
club.
watching.
Stop it.
Like my,
I got a club called Hip Hop. It's at Ronald LaGrange and Sycamore View.
He does.
And we do great events.
He does.
You know what I'm saying? And it came from a dream that I had.
It did.
And I'm still putting it out there.
You gotta keep doing it.
And he's gonna get that shameless plug in there too.
And we
look-
got to do something together too. You know, you got to host something.
Right.
I would definitely host something.
That's what
for
it's
you.
on- it's on
let's,
paper.
Let's collaborate.
It-
you
it
know
is
what? And a lot of people don't like to
documented.
collaborate.
Yeah, you go.
That's the thing. Why is that? Is that a Memphis thing or is that like a
You know,
people thing,
you
a
know,
human
that's
thing?
That's an I don't understand thing, right? Because I always tell people, you know, and you let's take it here. You look at, you know, the rap wars that are going on in our city, right? And one thing I know is that the entertainment industry has so much money, there should never ever be a fight over anything in it, right?
Right.
And I tell people this too. You know, if we just get a crumb off of the crust of the pie, that's enough to feed our generations for generations.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Think about that, right? So what are we fighting for? You follow me? And so why are we not reaching out and helping each other and plugging. I want to celebrate your podcast. That's why we wanted you on the show. We want to celebrate you and help boost it even more.
It's a collaboration.
Yes. Right. It's a collaboration, right? It's just showing love. We are not in competition here at the Antonio Parkinson Project with anybody.
Right.
Yeah, we don't look left, we don't look right. We look straight ahead, seriously. So we're not competing with other podcasts. So we welcome people that got podcasts because we want other people to watch yours too.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the way it should be.
It should be like that. It should definitely be like that. But, I just figure, like, even on a higher level, if we can collaborate, you're in politics. My boy DJ Kojak, you've been in the business for a while.
Yes.
You'll notice a lot of people do not like to collaborate on projects. It becomes, like you said, a competitive type of scenario where we can get more done if we join forces. So I'm all about the collab.
And that even goes into mentorship.
Yes.
A lot of people won't mentor because they think that they're going to build their competitor. No, you're actually building an ally. Someone that, in fact, the better the person under your tutelage does, the more it says about you.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree.
Right. Man, I'm going to tell you this, though, Ina Esco, you fit right in because if Angelica was standing right there, we'd be way off track, too, again, because she does the same thing. Right? So, look thank you for that.
Oh, we talking about the
look, thank you for that. Yeah. But look, so, hey, Diddy is in the news again, right? And I think Diddy is going to be in the news for a long time, right? TMZ is reporting that the lady, I think her name is Thalia Graves. I might be jacking her name up, but she was the one that did the press conference with Gloria. What's the lady's name? Jesse, Gloria, the feminist movement.
The lawyer. I know you're talking about Gloria.
Yeah, but yeah, she was. So they did their press conference, and she was accusing Diddy. Thalia was accusing Diddy of rape and all of this stuff, right? But it has been alleged, now this is according to TMZ, that text messages have been discovered that says that the lady, Miss Graves, was offering $3 million to her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah,
basically
pretty much say what she was saying was true.
Right. And to be an alibi for, not an alibi, but a witness to or supporter, a corroborator of what she was saying. And that ex-boyfriend said he's since blocked her. What? And said, and said, ain't no way, right? And it was a $3 million offer.
She got $3 million to get a boyfriend.
This was going to come out of
the money from Diddy.
If she get the money,
right.
He probably like, you still crazy,
But think about now. Remember, these attorneys have put out their advertising, for people that have been basically essayed by Diddy.
Yeah.
They're saying if you've been essayed by Diddy. Come to us and talk to us about it. And it was 3,000 back then, 3,000 respondents and 112 of them that they accepted, right? And so, but that goes to show you that some of this stuff is just going to be pure opportunists,
definitely.
That are, trying to jump in the fray. And again, all of this is, stuff that's still in the mix. So,
and I'm not surprised. Diddy brought it on himself. Diddy has brought this on himself because of the behavior of being a bad boy all these years. And I could believe, the numbers are staggering. I'm not gonna lie. The numbers are staggering. Is it true? Is it not true? I don't know. He gonna have his date in court. He can't get that bond. He gonna be there until May, until the trial begins. That's a long time for him to think about some things, right? And that's a long time to strategize as well. So now we got this proof with this Thalia Graves young lady who's trying to get the boyfriend to corroborate with $3 million. Like, that's letting you know some of these accusations aren't correct. So this may possibly even make a hole in the case and Diddy get off. I ain't gonna lie.
Might get off.
Something ain't right.
Speaking of holes in the case, they are now saying, and this is, I want to make sure I get my sources right on this stuff because I don't want to be the one that they say, like, what happened with Piers Morgan the other night.
My girl.
This is according to Billboard. They're saying that the feds leaked the tape of Diddy and Cassie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
I believe that. I believe that.
Do they do things like that?
It's all about timing to me.
Yeah, and
it's about timing to me.
But yeah, and so, but I think the argument is that if they leaked it, then they were trying to bias public opinion before they actually placed the charges and rated his spot.
They rated it
so
right
they
afterwards.
already had the tape, though.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
They were holding on to this tape all this time.
Well, according to Billboard, Diddy's attorneys are saying that the feds leaked the tape, according to Billboard.
Oh, but that's allegedly.
Not according to the Antonio Parkinson Project, according to Billboard.
According to Billboard.
Right, yeah.
Do they have proof?
I don't want, according to Billboard, we just, they're the thoughts and views of Billboard and these other sources are.
So that can lead into the holes in the case still. This is a part of his strategy. Now, is it true? Is it not true? We don't know yet.
We'll find
Can
out,
they
though.
prove that the feds leaked the video?
I would think that if they you think that if they're saying that they got something that makes them believe that. Now, so Diddy's story. There are more stories coming forth. Allegedly, this is from CNN. Garth Brooks.
I haven't heard that name in a while.
Garth Brooks made headlines after being accused
What Garth doing?
of SA. Garth Brooks is accused of SA and battery. From one of the makeup artists, right? It was actually his wife's makeup artist, according to CNN. And then from what I read, she traveled with Garth Brooks by herself, and she was saying that these, events and incidents happened. Right? Yeah.
Whoa! I'm looking at it now. That's kind of What?
Is she just now coming out about this, did this happen?
Yeah, this just came out.
This happened 2019.
Yeah, like a week ago.
So it happened in 2019, though.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like the fire from Diddy's case is really giving women confidence to come out with their SA cases, though.
Yeah.
Maybe Garth was getting okay. They said rape on here, baby.
Man, but look, hey, I say though, I tell people, look, the entertainment business is the entertainment business is the entertainment business. When we had Michael Adrian Davis on the show a couple weeks ago, we talked about, the gospel entertainment business, right? And it's still the entertainment business. I was in
dirty business.
Yeah, I was in Miami back at, I think we were at Impact Music Conference back in the day. I remember I think it was Def Jam was having a party, and we were all in line to get in the party, and Mary was standing right behind me.
Yeah.
Right. We were having conversations while I was waiting to get into the party. It's the entertainment business, right? And no knock against Mary. I don't know what they were doing, but I know they were fine back then, but I'm like, dang. Y'all.
They were fine back then?
Whew. Yes, they were.
Voluptuous.
Yes, they were.
Because they still kind of curvy.
They still curvy? Okay. Yeah, they was curvy.
Look, he said they were curvy. But let me tell you something. I think, even being in radio is a part of the entertainment business. Right. I think what saved me from getting into a lot of trouble in this business is that I constantly worked throughout my entertainment career. Not only did I work in entertainment, I had a corporate job too. So I never had time to go to all the parties and hang out and do all the things. Yeah, I think that saved me.
That was gonna be my question. I was gonna ask you.
I never hung out a lot.
But they came at you though.
Yeah. They came what?
Coach, you see.
Look, I mean, speaking of courage, have you had courage to speak on anything that happened to you in the industry?
That's what I'm saying. I've never had.
So you ain't never go to a Diddy party?
No.
Never.
No.
Okay.
Did he throw one in Memphis?
No.
So you saying did I go to LA or New York to go to one? No. Have you ever been to a Diddy party?
I've never been to a Diddy party. Never been to a Diddy party.
I thought you did go to.
No, that was Michael. I've never been to a Diddy party.
But I heard like
daytime.
No, that wasn't me.
You was at the day party.
No, that was A-Ball and them. Ball and G went to a Diddy party.
They went to a Diddy party.
Yeah.
But I could believe people went to Diddy parties because there were different versions of Diddy parties.
Part
1 and part 2.
Yeah. They used to do that here in Memphis, right? There was a strip club back in the day over there off of Democrat.
Oh yeah.
Right, and all the strip clubs were supposed to close at 2:00, and they closed and they locked the doors, right? And the people that were inside, were inside, right? And it was a different animal.
They locked the door
when they locked that door.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Yep.
Right.
That's why they had to come down with all these laws
Man,
on the strip clubs in Memphis.
and they did because back then the strip club, they
You
were
could show
butt
everything.
booty naked.
That's what strip clubs are supposed to be, right?
Ain't nobody butt booty naked.
Not no more.
Not LA.
Not no more.
But Memphis was raw with
That's
it.
what
man.
listen. Ice Cube said that when he came. That's how he made the movie that he made.
Right
after coming to Memphis, he was like, "You can do this in the strip club."
Also, there were always laws in place for the strip club.
I mean, not here.
Yeah,
here,
allegedly.
Right. Allegedly.
Yeah, pure passion.
Yeah.
Pure
We
passion.
was the Wild Wild West in the strip club.
Going in.
Y'all was up in it. Look how y'all responded.
But I was working music. I was promoting music.
And I was DJing. So.
Yeah, okay. And y'all was watching them booties shake. Y'all was looking at the TNA.
You can't help but see it. You can't help but see it. But I was promoting music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, since we talking about music, man, let's skip past that, man. Shout out to our very own Glorilla, man.
Get him,
man. We got a
Glow album drop.
We gotta put the
Yeah. Who's on that album too?
Man,
Lotto on there, Meg Thee Stallion,
Come on now.
Franklin.
That's what
It's
got me.
on the album.
Rain Down. I heard that.
I love it.
Oh,
I love it. I like
And
it.
she
I
just
listened
dropped
to
a
it this morning.
single with Sexy Red.
Sexy Red.
They played the whole album all day.
Yeah, they pushing the
playing.
Sexy Red track, but
Yeah.
I'm loving the Kirk Franklin track.
They got Money Long on there.
Okay.
You got
Even though you know-
a lot of vocals on there then.
T-Pain.
It's a lot of vocals on that.
Jazzy
T-Pain
Faye.
could
Jazzy Faye.
sound good too.
Okay, yeah.
Big Man D-Lo, Boss Man D-Lo.
Boss Man
Okay.
D-Lo.
Yeah, he's on there.
He got the industry on there.
It sounds good from beginning to end. Like, she
Oh,
has
really?
a really good project.
I just hope she stay out of all the beef.
Yeah.
That's what's scary to me because even the attachment.
I want her to be safe.
That's what I'm talking about.
I do.
safe.
Let's protect Glorilla with all we got.
Yeah, we love Glow. We love you, Glow.
We do. We do.
Yeah.
And I'm so proud she can be herself
Yeah.
in her art.
Yeah.
And she doesn't feel like she has to conform to what these other girls are doing. They following her lead now.
You know what's interesting? I met Glow for a brief minute, right?
I saw the picture.
And when I say, I'm an empath, so her energy, her energy was incredible. Beautiful. I mean, I'm talking about beautiful, pure love energy.
It was
right.
her.
Yeah. But J. Cole jumped back in, right, Kojak? What's J. Cole doing?
Now listen,
J. Cole needs
I've
to sit
listened to
down.
this track over. I know you like the track because it's called Port of Antonio.
Yeah,
So I know you like
Antonio.
that.
Port
I know you like that.
Antonio.
It goes right with
Okay.
the show.
Okay. Port Antonio. Proper name. Proper name choice. Right.
But the track, man, it's an awesome track, man. And I would like to say, I feel like this is closing the casket on all of the beef between, the Drake and that's how I feel about it. Because his first verse, he's pretty much talking about his life I had brought up. The second verse is more like kind of touching on the beef and why he didn't really get into it.
What did he say though?
And I'm gonna say this here. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well-
Give us a lyric. Give us a lyric.
We go.
Give us a bar.
Let me give you some bars here. Okay, he said,
in the shit. I wish you could have got. I hope you got that in the shit. Yeah.
Give me some
Okay.
bars.
"Can't knock it." And this is what I'm. First of all, let me set it up.
Okay, set it up. Well, look, come
First-
on, Kojak. Look at
First,
Kojak
I'm
said, let me
saying-
set it up.
Let me set it up.
Okay.
First, when he first started talking about it, he was talking about the reason why he didn't jump into the beef
Okay.
because he saw where it was going.
Right. Yeah.
So he said, "Can't knock it. Can't knock it. If I see,
It's about the dough.
it's about the dough."
I'm your hype man.
There you go. They instigated the fuckery because it's profitable. I pulled the plug because I seen.
Where that was about to go.
Come on now.
Yep.
They wanted blood. They wanted clicks
I wanted blood.
to make the pockets grow.
But
And that's what I'm talking about.
That's deep though.
Yeah, it is. That's why I said it extremely slow, so you can think about what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
know,
whose side is J. Cole on?
No, this is
no,
what I'm saying.
yeah.
This is what I'm saying. He's on the side,
Like-
and I'm gonna say this when it dropped. If you can go back about 5 shows, we talked about this.
Yeah.
And I said that when he pulled out of it,
He
no,
want
I'm
smoke.
hip hop. I'm totally
Right.
hip hop.
He want no
I'm
smoke.
straight from hip hop.
Right.
I don't think it's that he didn't want the smoke. He
Right.
saw where it's going.
Right.
Now I'm hip hop, old school hip hop,
Right.
battle hip hop.
Right.
But it's not the same arena.
Right. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
not when you got all these
Yeah.
people, like he said,
Yeah.
thirsty. They want you to go so they can blow up their shows. They post all this stuff, lies, and you got to distinguish what's real and what's not.
Not just that.
Now,
back in the day, you can die.
You can die.
You can get killed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we battling each other right in our face.
Right.
It's
You know
the
what I'm saying?
fans pushing the violence.
That's what I'm saying.
And media,
but
media too.
because it's so big.
Right.
It's like it's too many people.
Well,
You can't fight that.
but Coach, think about this, and I know we're going a little bit over in the shell, but think about this, Jack. You know, a lot of people made millions of dollars off of this Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef,
Fish
right?
bait.
A lot of people made millions of dollars
Millions.
off of Tupac and Biggie beef.
Millions.
Right? And both of them died because of it.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Right? And I was watching this video. Dang, I wish I'd have pulled that clip of Leor Cohen. Right?
on. Yeah.
Record exec
on the Breakfast Club.
On the Breakfast Club.
I saw that.
And we're gonna drop that clip in post, but they asked him if you have an artist that has real issues, like let's say he's a junkie, he had drug problems, or he's in the streets real bad. I'm paraphrasing. Would you still sign him?
If an artist is talented, right, but you don't agree with their personal views, does that matter, or is it all about talent?
No, it's all about talent. I respect their personal views, but I can never be silent. I tell people when they ask me exactly how I feel. Like, you can't be a rapper and have a cup in front of me. I tell you, that's liquid heroin. You're junkie. You're junkie.
Would it concern you enough to not work with someone? Say they were in the middle of negotiating with you.
Yes,
Would that
go
make
ahead.
you say, okay, I don't know that I can do this deal?
What?
If you felt like they had a drug problem.
No.
Why sign an artist that would promote that?
I already answered that question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues, and I said talent.
Don't you think that's hypocritical, though? You're saying
It's
opioid problem's a problem.
opportunistic. Yeah. I got people to feed. I got a business to run.
He said, I absolutely would.
Yep.
And they asked, why would you sign him? You know what his response was? Because I got people to feed. And so that tells you,
at the end of the day, it's about that bottom
they
line.
don't give two shits about your life.
No, we know
Right?
that. We know that.
And you know, it's sad and unfortunate. And then you think about the network, right? So the labels push it, and I said this before too. This is important to note in this segment. I remember when Kyrie Irving was going through the stuff he was going through with the basketball team, right? And you know, and I said that they will fund, you know, rap artists and these folks to the tunes of millions of dollars in their budget to talk about killing another black person or call the black females bitches and hoes and this, that, and other, right? And you think about what Nas X is doing. They're funded to the hilt, right? Now, but if you say something about someone that is Jewish, or if you say
your
something,
stance in politics,
if you kick a dog, right,
kick a dog,
or you know, or if you say something about somebody that is homosexual or LGBTQ,
it's over.
They will snatch your entire budget, and they'll dry you up.
But look at all of the leadership in the music business are a lot of Jewish people that own this whole model that you're talking about right now.
Yeah. So and we're not being anti-Semitic or anything. So I want to make sure we're clear on that.
Definitely not.
But what we are saying is there's a standard that if you are destructive to your own people, we will fund you to the tune of millions and millions of dollars. If you're talking about shooting and killing folks in your community.
But let's talk about the the Kendrick beef and the Drake beef. To me, it was more lyrical. Like this was a lyrical
battle,
game of chess.
Right.
Like
it was until they started, like he said, like
until other people came into the situation.
You would go on an investigation to dig up all kinds of dirt on someone, like you just
or
said.
someone simply emailed him.
Yeah, or he got it that way, you know, and that's what he said. That's how he said he got it. But you know,
K got obliterated, Drake. I'm
gonna say this, even with the Jay-Z and Nas beef, you know, at one point, Even one point, Jay-Z said after he dropped the Super Ugly, he said my mom called me up and was like, "Hey, you're going
cut
too
it
far."
out.
But he told and even Jay-Z said the same thing. He was like, "Man, come on now, we lyrical.
Right.
What dick sucking lips got to do with
right? It's the money. It's the money factor.
That's something else. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, word on the street is they're squashing that beef at this year's Super Bowl. Y'all know that, right? So K-Dot is the headliner. They're saying Drake and K-Dot are squashing the beef at halftime.
Okay.
Have y'all not heard that?
Who said that?
I heard this in the media.
Okay. Because
I heard it from an iHeart personality.
Okay, there you go. Just as long as you clear up where the source is, so it ain't.
So it really makes sense too. I mean,
Don't it make sense?
It makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So
what if that was the plan all along? Everybody in on it.
Well, I don't know if that was the plan all along because Drake's shit was on life support. But look, we're gonna come right back.
K-Dot obliterated Drake.
I'm sorry, but he did.
Hey, don't go anywhere because we got Jesse Husseth coming, right? And he's running for state representative right here in the state of Tennessee. So you want to hear what he got to say? Hit that subscribe button. We'll be right back. You're watching Antonio Parkinson.
Grab a backwood and roll up. Grab your cup and let pour up. They didn't want us round it first, but now they act like they know what. Hey, but they show love, yeah, we show out when we show up. I don't even do the liquor, that shit might make me throw up. But we turned up, this the after party. Shit grabbing on my body. White girl got a bottle in the club, and that going all it. Turned up in a wreck the party. We just brought out everybody. No, we got our have some fun. We at the after party.
What up, everybody? This is your boy, comedian Alfred Kainga, and you're checking out the Antonio Project. Okay, yeah, you're checking out the Antonio Parkinson Project in Memphis, Tennessee. Do it again. Hey, what up, everybody? This is your boy, comedian Alfred Kainga, and you're listening to the Antonio Parkinson Project in Memphis. Is that good?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's give it up for it one more again. Yeah. And we got our wonderful co-host who is standing in for the consummating Angelica Jelly Woods. Yeah. Right? Give it up for Double E in the Effective Podcast. Yep. And that is my DJ. Yeah. That's DJ Kojak in the building. DJ Kojak, scratch it up four times for Jesse, who is going to win this state representative seat.
Better believe that. Bam for the huge. Yeah, you said it. You
step up to that mic.
You gotta say that name right, man. Don't mess it up.
So give it up for Jesse Husseth. Let me tell you how to pronounce it. Husseth, who is in the building running for state representative, Tennessee, District 97. Let's give it up for him. Yeah. Man, look. Jesse was smart enough, right, to sit in on the previous segment, so he can understand how the craziness goes down right here at the Antonio Parkinson Project. Man, thank you for being here. We truly appreciate it. Hey, before we jump into what your race is about, we do want to talk about and send our prayers up for those that have gone through in Florida and up and down the the eastern seaboard and Tennessee and Georgia, with these hurricanes, right? Back to back. Of course, first there was Helene, now Milton, and a lot of damage that is taking place. And then there's another hurricane that's brewing again, right? Back to back. And so we the Florida residents they were told to evacuate, right? And that, you have to think about that when you really put it in context, right? Those who can evacuate may try to evacuate, but everybody cannot evacuate, right? They said 1 in 5 gas stations in Florida were closed because they were just simply out of gas. Right. Think about what I'm saying. 1 in 5 in the state of Florida were out of gas or closed when people were trying to evacuate. So how do you evacuate if you don't have gas, right? How do you evacuate if you don't have money, right?
We have a mutual friend that was stuck down there. He said he tried to do 3 flights, even tried to do an international flight to fly to Canada. Couldn't get a flight up out of there. So he tried and couldn't drive out of there. So
But
he had to just pretty much, he was at a resort. He just stay there.
Yeah, Marlo. Yeah,
Shout
that's
out
my
to
barber.
Marlo.
But
That's
you
my
know
barber.
Mine too.
I can't even get my hair cut because Marlo's stuck in Florida.
But did you guys see the people even evacuating, stuck in the water as they evacuated?
Yeah, I saw that.
in the
I saw
traffic.
that.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. And then when you also factor in, all of the rhetoric that is coming from these folks on the right, these Republican Trump, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and and these other folks, to the point that President Biden had to address it. And I think we got video. Run that video, Nichelle.
Former President Trump has led the onslaught of lies. Assertions have been made that property is being confiscated. That's simply not true. They're saying the money is needed for this crisis is being diverted to migrants. What a ridiculous thing to say. It's not true. Now the claims are getting even more bizarre. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, a congresswoman from Georgia, is now saying the federal government is literally controlling the weather. We're controlling the weather. It's beyond ridiculous. It's got to stop.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
What's sad about this, Jesse,
Controlling the weather.
is that people are buying into this this stuff. They're saying that they were giving all of the money that was set for FEMA to migrants, which is a lie, right? And people are buying into it. They were saying that the government basically created these hurricanes, right?
FEMA had to launch a website to fight these lies specifically. Like the government infrastructure made a website, said these are lies. This is what's happening. This is where the money's going.
Right.
And every governor has come out and said, no, they're doing a great job, everything we need, and we're controlling it. We're good to go. But you've all these folks who want to drive like news stories, get those clicks, or just create like uprest before an election, saying no, the government's failing, get us out of here.
Yeah, what's crazy too is that, and I got to give it up to him. Honestly, I like to give props where props are due. Governor Lee actually pushed back on his own folks, that were putting all these lies out there. And he came out, and I wish I had that video. We'll probably put it in post, but he came out and said, nah, these folks lying. His own folks, right? Telling his lie. Because you think about it, Tennesseans are suffering, right? I mean, the damage in East Tennessee is crazy. I mean, crazy, right? And you think about, you had 6 people that lost lives at Impact Plastics, and all of this damage, and then, but here's the worst of the worst is that you got people and that are suffering, but that are buying into this bullshit that folks like Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene and all these other folks are putting out. And it's causing them more harm. I think we got some video of a guy, his father-in-law bought into the Trump stuff and refused the FEMA money because he believed what Trump said, that they are going to take your house if you take the money.
Lives just outside of Asheville, North Carolina, and he was badly damaged by Hurricane Helene. And he has refused all FEMA help because he's a hardcore Trumper. And he literally believes that if he accepts anything from FEMA, they're going to take his house. I don't understand how so many people are under the spell of this freaking con man. I don't understand it.
It's like people believe anything on the internet.
But it was the worst about that is he's suffering, and then by the time he realizes that it was a lie, it's too late.
Yeah.
Right. And and he may never recover, possibly, because he's buying into this bullshit.
It's
man.
an age of misinformation across the board.
Yeah. There was an interview with Vice President Kamala Harris, who hopefully prayerfully would be our next president of the United States, that asked her, about the misinformation actually coming from out of the country also. So we're in this information age, and a lot of this misinformation is coming from a lot of different sources that are
it's like those I can't remember the company's name, based in Nashville, like conservative media. They have some relationship with the Daily Wire,
right?
And turns out Russia's cashing these checks. And like, oh, we didn't know. I'm like, well, guys, you're repeating verbatim,
and they made a lot of money.
What RT is doing, tell me how you believe your podcast, which gets 100,000 impressions every time you do it, is worth $400,000 a month.
A month.
A month. Explain that to me. Like,
Wow.
think, like how some guy in a beanie thinks he's worth that much.
From Russia, $500,000 per month from Russia with love to these this conservative podcast, and they were just feeding the information, and a lot of our colleagues and others.
Didn't they get an award last year? Like, didn't they get they got recognized by the House floor because it's Benny Johnson, who used to work for CNN, got fired for plagiarism. And he went on with Daily Wire with Ben Shapiro, and then he moved on to his own thing. Like these guys are getting high fives all around.
Hey, and real talk, you think about it too. All of them folks that are in that, not all of them, but a lot of them that are in that conservative space of putting information out. Candace Owens. A lot of them folks have relocated to Tennessee. Tennessee is a hub for this. Tennessee is also the state with the most hate groups in the union.
Yes.
So Tennessee, it has more hate groups than any other state in the union.
Let me tell you something. When Amanda Seals came to the podcast festival, she spoke about that. Tennessee, you guys need to pay attention because I specifically came to this state to talk to you all. Your state has a lot of fucked up laws and a lot of fucked up organizations in here, and you need to pay attention.
Right. Speaking of fucked up laws, that's why we got Jesse Husseth in here.
Yeah.
He's gonna straighten this shit out, right? Come on. First domino, right. So Jesse, your race is probably one of the most high profile races in state elections this election cycle. Why is that?
It's so competitive. So I'm a numbers guy, so I could talk all day about this, but I'll make it real quick.
No, take your time.
So 2 years ago, we had our governor's race. Jason Martin, respect him, great guy. We've talked. He did not do great statewide. I think he lost by 36 points. It wasn't close.
Yeah.
He won 97 by 2 points.
Wow.
So we know the votes are there.
Yeah.
It is rated a Biden +3, so I don't have the Harris numbers, and it is.
Wait a minute. When I want you to break this down so a fifth grader can understand.
Okay.
It's rated Biden +3.
Yeah.
That went over a lot of people's head.
You're right. I apologize. So when I say things like +3, it means greater than vote share.
Right.
So Biden would have won this district by 3 points larger than Donald Trump when he ran in
So 3%.
3%. Yes. It is so hot that DLCC, which is a Democrat legislative organization that looks at state house races nationwide, recognize our race.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Awesome.
That they came in and said, hey, if you're going to get involved, this is one to get involved with.
Well, did they put some money in it?
Well, ask John Ray.
Okay. Because don't talk about it, be about it. Right?
Well, it doesn't come through.
Right.
If they give money, they give money to House Caucus funds.
Got you. Okay.
So it has already gotten hot. We have been running this race since February. We actually announced last November. We've hit. My campaign's already hit 15,000 doors. I have hit 6,000 because I'm about that. I've lost 25 pounds.
You about that life, ain't you? Knocking on the doors, huh?
I'm pounding pavement.
Right.
So, and we're seeing aggressive internet, aggressive mail. We're seeing a lot of interest. I have lived in this district for 30 years. I have never seen this many signs in House 97 ever, which, I'll brag about it, but I was doing it too.
Whose signs, though?
So it is my signs, Jesse Husseth and John Gillespie.
Okay.
Soon to be former Representative John Gillespie.
All right, then. All right. Let's it up for that, Coach. Hit the horn on it. Hit the horn on it.
In that vein, I want to say two things. I want to tell folks why I was called to service. I want to tell folks why I'm fighting.
Okay.
Those are two different answers.
Okay.
So I'm a dad. I got two little girls. Abby's 9. Ava's turning 3 in like 3 days.
Right. Gotcha. And she got a big sister.
You got a big sister.
Right.
My girls will have fewer rights than their mother growing up because this state is going backwards. They are more in danger since the GOP got the supermajority, passing all these crazy gun laws for the last 13 years. They are more at risk health-wise due to backwards medical policies that this same supermajority has done. If you want to change policy, you change leadership. That's what I'm trying to do here for Tennessee. I've been called to serve, and I'm fighting like hell to serve. But
that's what I'm talking about.
But why am I fighting? I am a huge Memphis fan, and I mean that the city and the sports, but mainly the city. I'm Memphis born. I have worked all over this city. I've worked by the airport. I've worked in cotton. I've worked in restaurants and retail. I own my own business now. I've been everywhere. It drives me up the wall when I see guys who say they represent Memphis literally go to Nashville and then trash our city.
Man, bro.
You want to know why we lost two judgeships? You want to know why we lost the crime lab? We lost our FBI lab just now? Why this city and this county produces 30% of all tax revenue in the state and we can't get a lick of investment? Because people who say they got our backs, when they leave Memphis, Memphis is in the rear view mirror.
Right.
And that's got to stop.
They align with the rural Republicans that are across East Tennessee. And the rural Republicans bash and create legislation that is harmful to the city of Memphis. And you got Memphis and Shelby County Republicans that align with them in the harm to the city of Memphis and Shelby County.
That is horrible.
Unbelievable.
It's
right?
insane. It's just this recent gun referendum we're going to have here on this ballot, because we are having the conversation of the impact firearms has in our community. You know, Cameron Sexton came down and said, if you do this, I'm taking $70 million out of your pocket.
Right.
You know, we're going to defund the police, we're going to defund education, and we're going to make you less safe if you have the discussion about firearms.
Right.
And, props, JB Smiley and Jerry Green for standing on their ground, because bullies get bullied, and we don't do that here in Memphis.
Right. And you know what's interesting about that is this, and I've been saying it from day one.
Yeah, you
right?
spoke about that.
I've been saying it from day one. Number one, it is not against the law for the city of Memphis to hold a referendum. And at first, that was the rhetoric that was coming out of there, right? And that's absolutely untrue. It is not against the law. The city of Memphis can hold a referendum, and they are holding their referendum, which give shout out to Memphis City Council, for keeping it on the ballot and fighting the fight, and we should get out there and make sure we vote in that referendum and the election, but so that your voice can be heard. And so I applaud the Memphis City Council for their strength and not backing down.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's important because you think about it, it's gotten to the point to where the policies that are coming down from the state of Tennessee, right? Permitless carry, the proliferation of assault weapons. Did you know that they were trying to pass a law that would allow 18-year-olds to walk around here legally with assault rifles on their shoulders?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Visibly.
What sense does that make?
It makes absolutely zero
So why
sense.
would they even attempt to do that?
It is guys who, when they run their primary, there's 1,800 votes. And they are the most right-leaning voters in that district. When you have lines in Tennessee drawn the way they are, we're talking about gerrymandering, you get very, very conservative districts or very, very liberal districts, and there are a few like mine, which are really competitive. There's only like 4. And so what you see is these folks who come into power who have no idea how they got power in the first place, just lean into it, because as long as they are the most conservative person in their district on their face primary, they have a job forever. And so they'll go insane and hurt metro areas like Memphis and Davidson County and Nashville.
Yeah, and what we're saying to them when we're fighting up there, we're saying, listen, I understand that you want to do permitless carry. I understand that y'all are okay with having assault rifles, right? And one of the things that my other colleague, the other Jesse, said, and I thought it was spot on, Jesse Chisholm, state representative. Shout out to State Rep Jesse Chisholm. Right? He said, because Jesse is, believe it or not, is a rural guy in the city, right? He's a hunter, right? He says, when you're in the country, in the rural areas, and you hear a gunshot, somebody's probably bringing food home. Right. But when you're in the city and you hear a gunshot, there's possibly a crime being committed. And that's true, because you ain't hunting in the city. Right. And so what we're trying to explain to them at the Capitol is this: look, give us the autonomy to be able to make the rules that will be beneficial to our city and county. Your shit does not work for us in Shelby County, Memphis and Shelby County. Yeah. Right. And so, but they want to stick to this cookie cutter approach as if it works, and it does not work. It's not just harming people and people are dying, but we're losing businesses. It's messing with our economic development.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How many businesses have said in the last 3 months we're closing because of crime?
So many.
Some
of your favorite restaurants.
There's a steakhouse in Memphis in my district called Buckley. It's been there forever. It's part of the furniture. And they're closing because they had too many cars getting busted into in their parking lot. Well, guess why? If you're going into a car, what are you looking for?
Looking for a gun.
You're looking for a gun every single time. You get a good window, you get a cell phone, and a gun, that's $2,000 of goods you just got in 15 seconds.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Jesse, look, tell everybody before you go, how can they support you? You know, how can they find you? And what do you need? What do you need people to do for you right now for this election?
So at this breath, I need bodies.
Okay.
I need bodies. And a good segue, tomorrow, we're having a day of action.
Okay.
So at 10 a.m., we're meeting folks at Seattle Elementary in the parking lot, do some canvassing.
Okay.
At 12:30, we're going to do some phone banking and some stamp sticking for some postcards over the liquor store on Mendenhall. And at 1:30...
At the liquor store?
The restaurant liquor store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're cool with that. Look.
That's your restaurant. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then after that, we're doing sign waving. And then after that, I'm going back out.
Right.
So the best way to get folks to vote is to talk to them at the doors. That's the best way to do it. If you talk to a voter at the door, they are 14 times as likely to actually go vote if they were undecided.
Okay.
If you can't, if you want, move your feet, of course, donations. We have an Act Blue. You can go to my website, jesse97.com, and find it there. If you
send us the Act Blue, we'll post it too.
Sure, I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll do
send
it.
it to us.
The real thing we need here in Memphis, and you said it earlier, bring a friend. If your friend doesn't have a voting plan or isn't sure they're going to vote, or is like, well, I'm going to vote for president and senate, explain to them why it's so important to vote and why it's so important to vote the whole ballot.
Okay.
I'm going to show you all a stat. The reason why John Gillespie's still in his seat. So 2 years ago, when we had that race we talked about, there's a thing called ballot attrition.
Okay.
And it is basically the difference in votes from the top of the ballot to the bottom of the ballot. How many folks quit voting? On the Republican side, it was a big ballot. From the governorship to the House representative on the Republican side, they lost 22% of the votes. On the Democratic side, 45%, almost half. And he won by 13 points. So if you just hold it even, he loses his job.
Right. Yeah.
We have got to get our voters to stay sticky on the ballot. We've got, every election matters.
Right.
Talk to anybody at the State House. You know what? If I walk up to you and say, Rep, what's the thing you most need at the State House? You're probably going to say, I think we're Democrats.
Right. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. We have a chance to send a few more this cycle.
Yeah, we really have a shot at flipping this seat. But Jesse, before you leave, I know this is a Ina question, but she's video. Yeah. So 5 reasons that they should vote for Jesse Husseth in this election.
I will go to the mat for Memphis every single time. I'm not going to put up with this garbage, how they're going to crap on our city.
Right. Reason number 2.
Reason number 2, I am going to fight for reproductive rights.
Okay.
I am pro-choice.
Amen.
I'm fighting for that hard.
All right. Reason number 3.
I am pro-public education.
All right.
We are not doing vouchers.
Amen.
I am not having Memphis City schools lose more resources with 44 kids in a classroom. Are you insane?
Okay.
Reason number 4.
While I support gun ownership, I support safe storage. We talked about cars a second ago. If we can get safes in cars, we will decrease violent crime with guns by 40% in Memphis.
Come on.
Can you imagine that drop?
Reason number 5.
I want to get trade schools back in Memphis.
All right.
We need multiple avenues way kids can make some money. And man, there is no better way to make money almost fresh out than going and being a plumber. I am not joking. Use some HVAC. If you're a plumber and you can lay cable, you're making at least $70K straight out of high school.
Man, come on, give it up for Jesse Husseth. Yeah, man.
Hit him with it.
Man, listen. Make sure, you go out and vote for Jesse Husseth. Keep that camera on, Jesse, while I say this. Make sure you go out and vote for Jesse Husseth for State Representative, District 97. And listen, if you're going out there, you're going to vote for Kamala Harris, but vote all the way down the ballot, right?
The whole ballot.
Vote the whole ballot, y'all. I promise you we can do this. We are this close, man. We're this close.
There'll be hundreds of votes.
Jesse, man, we appreciate you. We love you. We're proud of you, man. Make this shit happen.
Here we go.
Make it happen.
All right? All right, man. All right, y'all. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we're going to talk about, y'all don't disappear for this because this is important. Well, it's not really important, but it's funny. We're going to talk about whether or not there is a supply and demand issue in the dating pool. So hit that subscribe button. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching Antonio Parkinson Project.
Let's get it. Don't fuck with me. I'm still getting it. Master P, no limit. And I'm with it. Come get it. No missing. You know how we coming in Memphis.
paper like a broke faucet. Diamond teeth, and my neck glossing. Project flossing, taking no lossing. Ain't trying to go up that creek like Dawson. Ain't no pausing, no stagnation. Pockets on swole like pregnation. Brand new house, brand new cars. I'm from the hood, gentrification.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, this your boy, Pimp Type, MJG.
Yeah, man, and this your dog, Big Ball.
Y'all know what this is. This the Antonio Parkinson Project. You hear me?
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Welcome back to the Antonio Parkinson Project. You're watching the fastest growing visual podcast in the Memphis market. Let's give it up for that. Yep. Man, look, hey, this been a great show. So, yeah, man, look, hey, give it up for our stand-in co-host.
Hanging in there.
Ina SL. Double E. Yep. She is in the building. She's just as pretty as she can be, too, man. We appreciate you
out with you guys. Chit-chatting.
Yeah. Chit-chatting.
Yeah.
We're chit-chatting. Right. That is
talking about some real stuff.
Talking about some real stuff. That's my DJ Kojak in the building. Scratch it up for him 4 times. DJ Kojak.
Bam, 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 bam.
Oh, not the pullback. Not the pullback. Oh, man, he must be feeling this. He feeling good today.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
You know, because he ain't pulled back in about 3 or 4 episodes, man.
I pulled back.
Yeah, he pulled the pullback, man. Man, look,
must
man.
be a retrograde
I'm
around.
trying to tell you, man, everything's aligning, ain't it? What's going on up here, man? So, look, y'all. Look, now.
Come on now.
Boy, this is.
Come on now.
I was so excited to talk about this in pre-meeting,
He
right?
was.
Man,
He was
because
really excited about this one.
I saw this video and this dude, he was drawing this correlation and they call it hoe math.
Hoe math.
Hoe math. HOEMATH. And look, but it sounds crazy, I know, but the dude makes absolute sense. And he did a chart showing you, especially for the visual learners, showing you why there may be a supply and demand issue in the dating pool with men and women, right?
I wish we had that.
And what he says is this, that 80% of women are seeking an above average man, right, Kojak?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's what he's saying. Don't kill the messenger.
Right.
However, only 20% of men are above average. Let's watch this video.
I know why all the good-looking guys treat girls like shit. Supply and demand.
They're figuring it out. The TikTok girlies are starting to figure this out. They've been saying the same 3 things for a while. They've been saying there's so many pretty women and not very many attractive men. They say that one a lot. And then they also say, I don't want to settle. I don't want to be with anyone unless I feel like he has everything. That's number 2. And then number 3, they say, why do men, why do they not want to settle down and put me in here? Why do I keep ending up in situationships? Why won't they pick me? And this girl figured it out. It's supply and demand. If all of you want perfect Disneyland love, then these guys don't have to pick one of you. They can have 5 each. This is like one of those engineering triangles, but there's only 2 things and you can only pick one. It's like don't settle and don't share. Don't yell at me. I don't make the rules. I'm not the one who decided this. That was God. Yell at God. I do that all the time. It doesn't work.
All right.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And so, and you know, and look, to take it a step further, right, you think about, okay, let's say, for instance, right, you got this guy, he wants to marry this woman.
Yeah.
I'm just using this scenario. It's one in one of the Hoe Math videos, right?
Right.
And he asked this woman to marry him twice, right? And she said no 2 times, right? But he wanted to stay with her because he loved her, right? Average guy. She didn't. She was using him as a placeholder for the guy that she really wanted, who was the above average guy that
would never ask her.
Would never ask her. Boy, that's some cold math right there, right?
The math is mathing, though.
But does that make sense though? Does it make sense to y'all that you know you got you and then there's this factor. You have women who want the above average guy. Now, listen, let me quote the source so people don't think I'm saying this. This is not Antonio Parkinson saying this. This comes from the whole math video. So there are women that are, they're considered average. This is not Antonio Parkinson saying this. This is what the video said. There are women that are considered average, but who feel like they are above average, and they are going after the above average man according to the math, right? But they're saying that these women, instead of trying to date up, they should be trying to date down.
Brother Kevin Samuels,
high value man. I remember he was a high value man.
Trying to prove that point. What you talking
he
about?
died.
Right
Yes, he did.
He passed away, but
I remember Mr.
So his
Samuels.
death, he was
his
preaching
podcast.
that.
Yes. Well, I mean, there's something to be said about all of this. But in my opinion, like, how are we categorizing? I know you said it's the whole math, but how are we categorizing average, even with the man versus the woman? What makes them that? Are we looking at financial status? Are we looking at looks? Like what are we?
Yeah. So a lot of women were saying that. One woman in one of the whole math videos, she was saying, "I want to marry a man that is 6'5", makes six figures, loves his family, is a protector, and is faithful."
So she wants it all.
Right.
Like, and you may never find that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem, the challenge is that man, according to the whole math, that man has
all the women.
Everybody wants him.
Yeah.
He exists, possibly, right? But every woman, from the top tier woman all the way down to the below average woman, wants that man.
And he knows it.
So it is a supply and demand issue because people like what they like. At the end of the day, people want what they want. They like what they like.
Right.
Because if she get the average man, according to whole math, or someone below average, she's not going to be happy.
Right. Yeah. Right. Well, but she's also not going to be happy with the top tier man
when she find out he ain't all that. With all the women
who ain't got time for.
Well, he still may be all that. He just got a lot of women.
Yeah,
he's everything that she said. He just got
a lot of women.
But she's not going to be a priority for him because she's not even the top tier woman.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Never be happy.
She has to date down, according to the whole man. She should
unhappily date down.
She should consider dating down. It's so interesting because I was having a conversation with a woman here in Memphis day before yesterday. It's so funny we've been having this conversation. And I always say the algorithm is listening, right? And then this comes up right on the show. And because that woman was saying she likes a person with athletic build, maybe basketball player, this, that, and other, and she was dating one, and it didn't. And I asked, so how'd that work out? It didn't.
What did she say?
It didn't.
What was the problem? Because he had all the women.
Man, I hope they're gonna watch the show. 2 years in, and he couldn't even say, one of her close family members' name. Right. And so that which says that he is that top tier one, but he got all of these, access and opportunities, right? Why is he going to make you the priority? When and I'll give you this, like if you're a woman, and no knock against women with kids, this is whole math, not Antonio Parkinson. So I'm keep on saying that before I say this stuff because I don't want them I don't want them to JD Vance me saying I'm talking about women catless. Childless cat women, right? But
math of the whole,
right? Whole math, right? So let's say you are incredibly gorgeous, right, woman, right, and you got 3 kids, right? Well, and let's say everybody thinks, like, man, men would love to be with you, right? But there is also the incredibly gorgeous woman who's making 6 figures with no kids.
No kids.
Right? And so now You know, and of course, all of this is subjective, right? Some people,
It is.
Some people, I'd say there's a market for everything and everybody. Now, whether you choose to accept what your market is a different issue.
Yeah.
Right now, your market may not be Mr. Buff Bob, right, and who is 6'5" and you know, and making, you know, six figures, right, and you know, and but this fantasy. So they're saying that a lot of people, you know, live in this fantasy space. But let's talk about the reverse of it, right?
Yeah.
Because the whole math says there's not that many men, but there's a ton of women.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about the reverse of it.
Okay.
So let's talk about the average dude. Does the average guy get the shot at the top tier woman? And possibly because of the supply and demand. Low supply mean there's high demand for that average man.
Yeah. I think at a point, if we're going by the whole math, a woman that has it going on, she gonna like if she's reaching for that higher tier, whatever whole math man, right? And she's running into all these bumps and just this isn't working out. I think she will eventually go to a lower tier.
But will it be really what she wants though, right?
It may or may not be, but if you bump your head about 10 times, let's try something different.
That shit gonna look attractive to you.
Hello.
If you get through getting diddied by these folks.
Right. Especially if that so-called whole math average guy is treating this woman way better than the whole math high tier dude.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, because the whole math high tier guy here, Nichelle over there co-signing, the whole math high tier dude don't have to settle. He just absolutely does not have to settle because he's getting a pick of whatever he wants.
Right.
Right?
And is he really happy?
He might be, probably. You know,
pretty sure
he getting the baddest of the best, the best of the best until he gets tired, and then he can marry one of them. Yeah, so he.
You know somebody like that personally?
I mean, I think all dudes are ugly. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
A high tier dude, according to whole math.
I'm high tier, right? I'm. You know, I know my value.
You whole math high tier.
I'm whole math high tier.
Okay.
You know, but maybe not in the 10. But I got to be in that 7, 8 space
So
somewhere.
you're saying you have your pick of the litter.
I'm saying I could. I'm saying, but I'm incredibly, you know, picky because, you know, because of the position I'm in, I have to be careful with, you know, people, you know, I'm just not out there like that. I promise I'm not.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Yeah. And you know, but here's the thing about me. Here's the difference with me and you know, I'm not physical attraction to me is not the priority for me. But if you are an intelligent woman, ooh, baby, that makes you attractive as hell to me. Yeah, you know, make challenge, make me think, right? That and you done became, you know, if you were average, you done went to at least an 8 with me if you're intelligent. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Do you know some women that are top 10?
I do.
Yeah. Are you?
I do. Well, you know, I'm married. Like, I'm married. I ain't in a whole math supply demand.
Did you get the top tier?
That's what I'm saying. What is the top tier?
Oh, look at this. That's a political answer. You hear this, right? She hojacking us on the show.
I will say that my husband, I think my husband is very attractive. He's been a wonderful, amazing father, giver. So maybe I am in a high tier.
So, but is your husband in the top 10? Is he a top tier?
I think so. Like the women be like, "Oh, your husband cute." I'm like, I know.
Right. So, dang, look at that look. I hope you got that, Michelle.
I'm the jealous wife.
Look, man.
I'm gonna beat you down.
Her whole expression changed, right? And she looked at me
and
like I'm looking at her husband. I ain't looking at
I'm from Bowman, Texas. Y'all think I'm from Memphis, and I would beat you down.
Hey,
she stepped right out. She stepped right out of that professionalism.
Right, man. Right. I know, ho. Look.
Since we talking about whole man,
you better do your whole man.
Don't play. What about you, DJ Kojak? Are you whole man top tier? What's the situation?
I'm top tier. You know what I'm saying? But kind of like Touche said, it's certain. You know, it's in the eye of the beholder. Certain things that you go for.
Yeah.
You know, it don't have to. You know, for every man, it's not just the looks. It's not just this and that. You know, of course, you want someone attractive because you got to look at them. You got to look at them all the time.
My daddy always told me that
it's something else that's in a woman that turns you on, you know. So
yeah,
lean towards
and all of this is completely subjective, right?
Yeah,
and you know, it speaks as if there's a cookie cutter version of that top tier man,
right?
You know, and so somebody can be, you can have a 400-pound man, and a woman feels that he is top tier only if he's sweaty. Right. And so, you know, if he ain't sweaty, he done came down a notch. Right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And you think about it, what's Nichelle, you was telling us about what's the reality show
Love is Blind,
right?
Baby.
Right?
Oh,
man, look. And you know, and look, and you know, on one of them shows, I don't know if it's that one, the lady, she has a lot of weight, right? But she married. You know, and you got some of these top tier according to society that are
out
single
here in these streets.
Single as hell.
Sad as hell.
Sad as hell. Right? So I do have to ask you this though, Ina. So if your husband was obviously top tier, shout out to all the Baptistes in Port Arthur and Beaumont. I know some too, right? Right. You know, anyway, I'm finna go there, right? But he was top tier. And did you consider yourself top tier to get him? Oh, so you got top tier and top tier.
I think we're
so y'all were in the space then. So like they were in the same space together, right?
So how does that fall into the whole match?
Well, it just eliminates all of the down ballot, women that might not have been top tier that was trying to get him. I wish we had him on the show so we could ask him, right? That would have been fun.
Yeah, he would love to tell you how we met.
Right. Well, how did y'all meet?
Oh,
we didn't get into that. We didn't get into that.
Y'all want to hear the story?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, my line sister, we were on Beale Street. This is during Memphis in May, back in early 2000s. Okay. And so, we ventured a couple of little spots on Beale, had a few drinks, and I saw him. And I am envisioning this right now.
And glowing.
He was so fine. I saw him across Beale Street, right there in front of, what is the name of that place?
Wet Willie's.
It used to be, not Wet Willie's. What used to be with the green clover? It used to be.
Silky Sullivan.
That's not there anymore, is it?
Is this not?
I don't think it's there anymore.
I don't think so.
But I remember him over there, and he was with a bunch of guys, and I was just staring at him, and my line sister was like, "What are you looking at?" I was like, "Him," and so he finally looked in my direction, and so he was looking at me, and so we were just staring at each other, and I was like, "Come here."
Did you say that for real? Did you say that?
I did. I made the first move. I did. Women, I really think if you see something you like, go and get it. I mean, a lot of women won't do that. Number one.
And the South they talk differently, but go ahead, though.
He came over and we were talking, and I think we're the same age, right? He's probably 3 months older than me, if you go by months. And I remember saying, "Oh, you're just a baby," and he was like, "Girl, that's my little flirt move I used to do. That's my little flirt move I used to do." Anyway. We've been together ever since, but he loved to tell my sons about how we met. Y'all know y'all mama found me on Beale Street. She told me to come here.
That is hilarious.
And I married her. I own her now.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
So, it's like a little jokey joke.
But that's good, though. That made me warm inside, man, hearing your story. Because you passionate about your husband.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
You don't hear that often.
You don't hear it that often, man. I love that. But
we live in a different
awesome,
time, though.
That is great. That is great. So the whole mathed it on that one. So,
mathed it on that one?
Yeah, the math was mathing. Yeah.
Okay, the math was mathing.
Yeah. But look, okay, let's ask this before we get out of this segment. How much time we got in the show? Oh, we out of time? Okay. We got to ask this. Okay. And don't use the cheat sheet. Name 5 reasons either men or women think that they are above average.
Let's start with DJ Kojak.
Oh, I like that. Go ahead. Okay. Get out the cheat sheet, Kojak.
Well, okay, because, a lot of the women, I'm going to say women, feel like, the perception of what they think a man want, they done did everything to their body to get it right and put it right. They done put this here, they done put this there. I don't know what magazine they've been watching or what they've been looking at.
That is.
But they got everything set straight, and they okay, now I'm perfect.
So like BBLs,
yeah, I got everything. I got everything. So now they feel like they
that's reason number one.
They might have started at low, but they all the way up now.
Oh, they went from below average to Right, to top tier.
I've seen some of them that that went to school with me and be like, damn.
She look different. Something different about you.
That you, Wanda? Right. All right, Ina Esco, reason number 2 why people think they are above average.
Let me tell you, some people think they're above average because of their proximity to things and people that they think are in power or make some decisions.
Oh, that's okay.
That's another angle as well that I don't see on here.
Social. Social proximity. Social proximity.
Social proximity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
because of who they know.
A lot of people clout chasing like that.
Damn, I ain't thinking about that.
Yeah.
That's big, right? That's big.
It
Okay.
is.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And that's why there's like hidden agendas out here. Also, definitely the finance. I think that's another reason why. A lot of us women are more independent now. We're making our own money, and that brings another set of. I would say it raises your confidence definitely. Like, and they've been independent all this time. Maybe they haven't met that man that they're looking for. They feel like, hey, I could do this on my own, and like pick and choose who I want when I want.
Yeah. Here's another one. Since Ina took 2 of them, Kojak. Let me go and drop one in here, right?
Go ahead, go on.
Yeah, over here hogging up the reasons why people think they're above average.
Okay, well, you give up one. Yeah, I got a whole bag.
But those were good. But I would say one reason is this. Reason number 4 is because somebody gassed their asses up and said, "Oh man," and you got them friends, right? That would. You can look like a toad in here. You can look like a tadpole. And they tell you, boy, dude, man, go get her, man. You can go get her, this, that, and other. Such, man, you this, you that, the other. And to the woman, girl, you bad, girl. Y'all really do. Y'all really bad about that. Gassing them up. And then all of a sudden they bending over, good. Clapping in the club. Right? Right. Don't look at me like that, Ina, because y'all be gassing y'all friends up. They be gassing you up, too. Look.
Y'all little friends be gassing y'all ass up, too. Don't play no game.
They do.
Don't go holler at them.
What's one more? We said 5.
One more.
Right?
Let's talk about like what you mentioned, intelligence.
Does that make them feel like they're above average though?
For some, I would think so.
Okay.
But you said that was like a factor on your list, right?
It is a factor on my list. But from my perspective, but I didn't know. That it would make them feel like they are more attractive or higher up on the whole mass scale because they're intelligent. I don't know, and maybe that is. Yeah.
It could be. It got like that.
Oh, that's
Michelle,
a really good point, right?
Michelle.
Because of the neighborhood you grew up in or how you grew up. Maybe you grew up in affluence. Right?
Yeah.
And so, but you can still be hit. You can still be ugly in the mother.
Ugly mom. But girl, he grew up over there.
She lived in Germantown. Or she lived in Collierville.
And a lot of times, confidence makes some people look better. You got to think about it. If you got a daughter or whatever, you tell them, hey, you beautiful, you're an angel, and they grow up with that.
Yeah.
Some of them, they don't get that. And you're like, you ugly your whole life, and then they walk around. And you got some ladies that can actually be beautiful, but you really can't really tell because they in a shell. So what I'm saying is confidence, if you got it your whole life and you walking around, you it's on you. You be like, even if they ain't top tier, you be like, man, something about old girl.
I got another one. You made me think about another one. I got another one.
Go ahead.
A person who has not been ran through.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
They've been holding on.
Right. They might feel like they're above average. Hell, a lot of people would feel like they're above average.
I agree with that.
Right. Yeah, man.
Low body count.
Low body count. They should be very proud of that.
Yeah, man. Look. So Ina Esco, man, thank you so much.
Man.
You have been absolutely wonderful. Yeah. Give it up for Ina Esco in the building.
I enjoyed myself. You guys are awesome.
Well, thank you.
I'll come back anytime you guys.
You're welcome to come back anytime. Seriously, you're welcome to come back anytime. Verbally Effective Podcast, Ina Esco. Subscribe today.
Get it in.
And look, and also make sure you hit that subscribe button for the Antonio Parkinson Project.
You're watching the Antonio Parkinson Project.
Powered by Black Market Strategies.